So hello everyone, welcome back to the brand new lectures in physics. In the previous class we have discussed the concept of systematic errors. Okay, so in this class we will discuss the types of random errors. So what is meant by a random error? So the name itself suggests a random error will not have a specific reason for having an error. Okay, here in systematic errors, whatever the error may be, okay, it will be always have some cause. Okay, there may be some defect in the instrument, there may be some defect in the conditions, okay, there may be a human defect. But here in the random error, there may not be any sort of reasons for getting the errors. Okay, so it will come randomly. Okay, and to avoid this random errors, first of all, I just want to say what we call method to avoid this random error. So these random errors can easily avoided, okay, or eliminated by taking number of observations. Okay, so this is the best method to avoid random errors. So now, so what are the types of errors? So before going to the concept of types of errors, okay, I just want to say something. So here in random errors, before going to the concept of random error, we need to have observations first of all. Okay, regarding an experiment, we need to have some observations. So let us suppose they are A1, A2, A3 and so on up to AN. Okay, so here before calculating the error, we need to first of all, okay, see the arithmetic mean. That means you need to have the value of true value. As I already said in the previous class, okay, we need to calculate the true value first of all, and then you need to compare them with the observed values. Okay, so how to calculate the true value means we need to have some arithmetic mean of all the observations. That is A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 etc. up to AN. And how many observations are there here? That is N. So this is the value, that is true value of the observation. This is the true value of the observation. Okay. After getting this, so what was the first type of error? It is absolute error. Absolute error. So this absolute error is not related to the total experiment, but it is related to each and every observation. Okay, so that was processed in that particular experiment. Okay, for example, let us consider A1 is the first observation, right? A1 is the first observation. Then absolute error can be written as delta A1, which is equal to the value of arithmetic mean minus A1. Then delta A2 will be equal to arithmetic mean minus A2. So we all know what is the A1 and A2. They are the observations. Okay. For example, if you want to find the weight of that particular object, like very sensitive instruments, sensitive objects are there, right? Like gold, silver, or even platinum, like that. Okay. So for that we need to check for the number of times, because there may be some change in the milligrams. Okay. So which will have some rate change in hundreds and even thousands also. Okay, so here we need to find the values of delta A3, delta A4, delta A1, like that, using this process. So here we need to consider AM as true value. So how much difference is there between the true value and the observed value? So that is called absolute error. That is called absolute error. So this is one type of error. Okay, and now The second one is mean absolute error. Mean absolute error. Okay, what is meant by this mean absolute error? Somewhat different, right? So it is nothing but mean absolute error means delta AM, we can write it as. Mean absolute error means the average of all the absolute errors. So the average of all the absolute errors, okay, in a particular experiment, okay, is called mean absolute error. So that means it is an arithmetic mean of all the absolute errors of the observations, okay, that was calculated in a particular experiment. So that is called as mean absolute error. Okay, so this was the second category. Okay, now third one, it is called, we can take it as a relative error. Relative error. So what is this relative error? Okay, so if you consider first one, so first one comes from the true value, that is absolute error. It was calculated from the true values to the observed values. And the second one is mean absolute error. So it was calculated from the absolute errors. Okay, and here relative error is nothing but it was calculated from the mean absolute errors. That means one error is somewhat related to the other errors. So this relative error is nothing but R is equal to, so delta R, let us consider it. It's not, it may not be the original what we call representation, but let us consider. So this relative error, we can take it as delta AM by AM. That means the observed value by true values. That means we can say it is the mean absolute error by the arithmetic mean. That means true value. Okay, so the last and final category, it is relative percentage error. So we can take it as delta R percent is equal to delta AM by AM into 100. So that means we need to have some percentage. I think it was not visible to you. Okay, I will write it here. Okay, so the fourth category, it is relative percentage error. Relative percentage error. It is delta R percent is equal to delta AM by AM into 100. Okay, so these are all the types of random errors. So in systematic errors, if you know the error type and know how to avoid this, it is easier. But here in random errors, okay, if you know the error, we need to check the errors in the arithmetic operations also, like in addition, okay, how the error will be, in subtraction how the error will be, in multiplication how the error will be, and in division how the error will be. Okay, so that means if group of errors, that means group of observations or group of errors are taken in a particular formula. Okay, so let us suppose we need to find the momentum. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. We need to find mass value as well as velocity value. And there may be some errors in calculating both the values. Then how the error will be, okay, in multiplicating these two observations or two physical quantities. Okay, so these type of calculations along with some examples related to these errors will be discussed in the next class in detail. Okay, thank you so much.